Oh, hey, hi. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. My name is Jonny Hansen, and these are my lofty thoughts. This here, this is going to be episode 74. Hilariously, I recorded this 26 minutes ago and didn't press play. Didn't press record. What? That is something else. I can't believe I'm even admitting it, but that's what I do. I do dumb things and then I admit them to people. I do that here. I do that on the Untrained Philosophical Discussionist podcast. If you haven't checked that one out, you should. That's a fun podcast that me and a friend, Andy Lamb, what a great guy, do. It's a Christian men's podcast. It's clean. It's good. We like it. And I think you would too, so go check that one out. But this one's mine. Just me alone. I do this. It's a monologue, 20, 30 minutes. I have fun with it. And today I've threatened and will be continuing to now explain about the Trump shooter, what I found out. Now, here's the thing. This is what we're going to talk about because I'm not going to get political on anybody. I don't do that. I don't like that stuff. I don't like when people do it to me. God, we got pinned down yesterday by a friend of my wife's with some oh God, I'm so happy that my wife was there to break us free from it because people are so tight. Today's the 3rd of November, by the way. So in 2 days, the election happens and then it'll be chaos because they drag their feet on everything. It'll be 2 weeks before we know anything. But so maybe in the next 2 weeks, it'll start cooling off a bit and the world can get back to doing whatever it does. But we're not going to talk political here. I don't have an opinion on that stuff, or I have an opinion. I just don't share it here. I don't think that it's worth that. This is something else. We just talk about things and stuff, and I kind of philosophize on things. And today we're going to talk about kind of the background of this Trump shooter and how difficult it is to find anything. I heard J.D. Vance on the Joe Rogan show. Neat podcast. Clearly an intelligent guy, probably seems most human out of all the people that I've seen speaking. Just kind of seems like a regular dude. Some people don't like that. Some people do. I'm just saying that's my interpretation of it. I'm sure he's an intelligent man who has good handlers too. So it's not lost on me that I'm not like, oh boy, isn't this the best? Let's go have a beer with this guy. No. I don't think he's anywhere in my world, but I don't know him, and I'll never meet him in my life, so who cares? But some people care too much. But the interesting thing in this podcast was that they don't know hardly anything either. And Rogan was saying how the guy's house was swept. I don't know if that's the case or not, but if so, that is the craziest crap, and we should all demand to know why. There's no way this kid went through his own house and cleaned it up well. I've thought about that kind of stuff. I'm a guy that lives inside of this space frequently, and I've thought about how I could go about doing that. Think about for the next hour trying to make sure you don't touch anything in your own house and then wonder where everything you touched is and then try to clean it. Are you serious? I've lived here for 2 years now. We bought this house 2 years ago. There's no possible way I could wipe my finger off of everything. Fingers, let alone every other bloody thing that's probably all over everything too. I'm a married man. Oh, relax. This is an adult show, I think. Anyway, geez. The Trump shooter thing, he cleaned the whole house, so says Joe, and JD did not contradict that, though it didn't seem like he knew much of anything either. And that is very bizarre to me. And it seems like that's the case too frequently in this country when something actually does snatch the attention of the public. We don't know anything about him. So like the Vegas shooter guy, what do we know about that guy? Now I have an opinion. That's what I do here is give my personal opinion. It just means, what is an opinion? It's I've taken in the data I can find and then I've concluded something that I'm hypothesizing. It doesn't mean it's the final verdict on anything. So YouTube or anybody else, please don't take me off your channel for this little thought that I have. If you don't mind, I'm going to express it here today. I think this is still America and I can do that. I think that it's bizarre that we can't find information on these kind of things. The Vegas shooter killed 65 people. Loser here that shot at Trump killed a man. That man's name was Corey Campitori. And like Fight Club, I'm going to say, His name is Corey Campatori. His name is Corey Campatori. I think I'm saying that right. God, I hope I'm saying that right. Please, Lord, let me say that right. If anybody ever hears it that's part of his family, I'm saying this because we should be honoring this man. He was a firefighter, and he was probably a good man. By all accounts, his family's been on TV and said he was an amazing father and an amazing husband. And now he doesn't get to live because some scumbag was trying to insure his ticket to hell. And that's what I think. I think both him and the Vegas shooter were complete psychopaths that for some reason thought they deserved to go to hell and wanted to insure their place there. I think they'll be surprised that nobody's going to be impressed there because nobody has any time to be, because it's an all-consumptive void of anything good. And there's going to be no good things there because good comes from God, and the opposition is the lack thereof, is what I'm told. Not you're going to go burn and there's little mountains and there, there's different categories and leagues of that, of superiority there. No. If you're a complete and total psychopath, you've just ensured that you don't get a ticket to the place of eternal happiness, bliss, and love. You get the opposite of that. Good luck. Wish you would have found a ticket there that wouldn't have required somebody else dying, if that's really where you wanted to be. It's tragic that you thought you had to take somebody else out. I'm sure there's plenty of other ways you could have done it. Fool, piece of crap. Anyways, that's my opinion. It's odd that we can't find any information. Here's all the information I could find, and I looked at ABC, CNN, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, Fox News, New York Post, New York Times, everything. I looked all over. By the way, I used Google, I used Brave, and DuckDuckGo. So I used 3 different platforms to try to see if I could find anything. Nobody has anything, because these journalists are incurious agenda pushers. Because you can find all kinds of information on Kyle Rittenhouse. You find his shoe size the day after he shot somebody, his shirt size, how tall he was, every little detail, his haircut style about him the same day he shot 3 losers that were trying to kill him anyways. Sorry, suckers. Too bad the other guy only lost his arm, frankly. I know. I'm a Christian guy. I'm speaking metaphorically. Too bad he only lost his metaphoric arm. No, he lost a real arm. Oh, yeah, that's right. Gosh. Well, cheers. God, I like cold brew. So good. Anyway, here's what I found of this loser. I don't know his name. I didn't even write his name down because I don't care. Trip to hell guy. His parents, hey, losers, nice job. Nice kid you raised. No, they shouldn't be punished for his actions because we don't do that here. The person who commits the act, unless they conspired with him. Now we should dig into that. Did they conspire with him? Then we can hang them from a rope. We don't do that here anymore in America. We could bring it back. But they're licensed counselors or social workers. I found both things. Those are 2 different things, by the way. But they're one of those 2, and I couldn't pin down which one. Fox News said counselor. The Post said social workers. Anyways, nice social working. Who else did you work with? Half the school shooters in the nation? You're doing great work, aren't you guys? And then they said, no comment. Yeah, no shit. You didn't have a comment? Your kid killed somebody and tried to kill a bunch of other people because he's a psychopath and now he's in hell. I wouldn't have much of a comment either. You shouldn't be commenting on anything, especially on how other people do anything. Counselor, you should have your license revoked. I would just think that would be a good step in the right direction, because they're clearly not, they can't even manage their own house. How can they manage anyone else's anything? Here's me. Huh? Boy, that should have been the day one thing is get those licenses suspended. They'll never do it. These people will get right back to it. They have a high-profile lawyer, I found that out, or a high-profile law company. Hey, they should. Anybody should have representation. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but they appear to be a middle-class family, and high-profile lawyers are expensive, last I heard. Now, maybe it's pro bono. It is weird where they decide to apply that pro bono stuff, it's always in the most flagrant cases, or at least the loudest cases that they, whatever. Anyways, what else did I find? It was his father's rifle. No, he was an adult. He took his father's rifle. There's nothing illegal about that. By the way, if a kid takes his father's rifle, subjective to how he got his hands on it. If you're a father that has a rifle, teach your kid how to use it properly and safely. But also teach your kid a lot of other stuff and spend time with your kid and love up on them and check on them and make sure that their heart is okay. And tell them that spend time with them. Explore ideas with them. Shepherd them. That's what you do. This didn't happen to this loser, probably, it would seem, because any of the stuff that they talk about, this kid was just a complete and total piece of crap. And he was ugly. God, that kid was ugly. Did you see how ugly that kid was? Oh, he got picked on a lot. That's probably where a lot of that anger comes from. And I don't necessarily know what the heck he was doing there, and I don't know what the conspiracy could be. Something seems fishy, but I don't know if it's necessarily what most people assume. Again, it could just be a guy who thought, you know what, I'm a piece of crap. I deserve hell, and I'm gonna guarantee that golden ticket there. That could be as simple as it is. So I don't need to I would love an investigation, and I would love to have the newspapers do their job, the journalists do their job. Journalists. No journalist seems to work for any newspapers anymore, or any news agencies, TV entertainment agencies. Do you ever watch 60 Minutes anytime in the last couple of years? That's news? Are you serious? Are you serious? In between every commercial is a pharmaceutical drug. That's the news? No. And then you have to get a subscription to some sort of, what is that thing called where all the journalists went? Anybody who's worth a piss, now they put their stuff on Substack. But you have to pay for that stuff. It's relatively inexpensive, couple dimes per article. So if you're interested, you can read good stuff now. And it's probably less than a newspaper would be, and you don't get all the fluff. And the advertising that was there and is for sure there now and is disgusting, and just kind of it directs what they can look into and what they can't. That's it. It's pretty simple. Anyways, boy, getting a little deep. So, father's rifle, I found that on Fox News. It's the only place that had that listed. It's very disappointing. And by the way, Fox News isn't great either. Screw you, Fox News. You're the same thing. It's all the same crap. Just packaged a little different. We're told it's packaged differently, But it's always from the same feed. It's all AP. And then they all kind of do their little thing with it. But gosh, if you track the news, put something into the Google, and then every news agency almost has the exact same title. How do they do that? The next big thing that happens, look it up. All of them have a disturbingly similar title. They're just copy and pasting at this point in time. It's not journalism. We should stop supporting it, but nobody will. It's just an opinion. Again, I have opinions, people. Sometimes, right? It's okay, right? All right, thank you. Thank you for letting me have my own opinion. I hope this makes this last on there. And the final thing, a rangefinder. Now, it's not like a rangefinder is, it's about as big as your cell phone, except for wider. We have one, and I don't have it here, of course, because I neglect to grab things. But it's not like it's this huge, it's not a camcorder that sits on your shoulder from the 80s. It has a big thing, and the guy's got to come over with a gaff mic and stuff and carry the whole thing around. It's not. It's like the size of your iPhone, except for wider. And you look through it, and by the way, I was told his was a golf rangefinder. I don't know if there's a difference, like the side of his says Tiger Woods is number 1 on the side of it or something. I don't know the difference in rangefinders. They all probably look the same. But everybody's like, oh my God, he had a rangefinder and nobody stopped him? They didn't stop him when people were screaming that there's a guy on the roof that has a rifle. So no, they didn't stop him when he was walking around with the little thing. He's probably like, yeah, I usually golf here on Sundays, and and you guys are doing this rally. Do you mind if I just play through quick? And they were like, yeah, go ahead. Is that a rifle over your shoulder? No, it's my golf stick. He didn't even term it right. I also don't know anything about golf. Golf stick, golf club. Holy smokes. Okay. So he's got a rangefinder and everybody's outraged. It's not big. He's looking through it. And anybody could go like, he's maybe trying to see where he'd get a good place to set down a blanket and watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna give him a hard time, give law enforcement a hard time about that. But when you see videos of people screaming, there's a guy up there with a rifle, he just climbed on and he's like a kid and he doesn't look right. And nobody comes a running and then he's still able to break 5 shots in the direction and murder one person and seriously critically injure 2 others, like, and before his head got split open like a canoe. Too bad, buddy. And they showed that. Gosh, I seen that all over. A buddy of mine sent me the video right away. My buddy had that video within 8 minutes of the shooting happening. I was like, okay, where'd you get this from? Who do you know? I'm not saying who sent it to me, of course, but gosh, that was pretty neat. I deleted everything off my phone. So no, you're not going to see it here. I'm not going to put it on something. I'm not getting my crap taken down for no bloody reason. I'm just here to speculate on things. Is that okay here, America? Thank you for joining me. Lofty Thoughts, Johnny Henson's Lofty Thoughts. And yeah, same thing with that Vegas guy. It's like, what was his plan? I don't know. Nobody's curious? Nah. There's a woman that, nah. Nobody wants to. Nope. We're just going to take the whole building down and move about acting like nothing ever happened again and do not much more investigating. Excuse me? This guy killed more people than anybody else in Las Vegas in a wide open concert and probably inspired terrorist groups to maybe try something like that. Don't we just dislike terrorist groups and they're a threat? Yeah, but they're not going to do anything like that. How do you know? We're pretty sure. We, the government, are pretty sure. So we're not going to investigate how it happened or what circumstances led to it, and you'll never find out. And can you just shut up, stupid civilian? What do you invest in this, civilian idiot? I don't know, all my taxes for my entire life? Yeah, not enough for us. We'll let you know what you should know, and we'll do it through the agencies that we control. Shut up. Or would you like to be investigated for those taxes that you pay? Because we can assume that it's not enough and we'll go ahead and put you somewhere. No, thank you. I'm good. I just run a little ranch out here. Just ignore me. Me and my little crazy ideas. Tinfoil. So, gosh, holy smokes. Is that almost 20 minutes already? All right. It bothers me that there's such fleeting curiosity for massive things that happen that should make sense. Here should be our reaction. Something huge happens. The journalists are incurious. We should demand curiosity, because we should all still remain curious. Hey, why haven't you investigated this? I'm not going to watch your show anymore. I'm not going to follow your news agency, and I'm not going to buy your newspapers until you start finding out about this thing I want to know. No, I don't want to know about that next thing that you want me to know about. I would like to know about this thing first. We can get to that thing only after you guys investigate this thing. But it never happens anymore. We're incurious. The JFK thing. We've talked about for decades that there's some other stuff going on, and then we never get the documents. Every president says, I'm going to do it. Even Trump recently on Rogan's like, I'll release them real quick. You had 4 years. Why don't you just do it? There's people, he said it to Joe, there's people who are still alive. Good. If they're involved, let's go ahead and wrap them up over here on this side of heaven before they escape down to hell, if they were involved and have kept it a secret the whole time. How's that? No, we got to let them all die off first before we do the investigating and before we release the files. Can you see how stupid this is? How do we get convinced of such stupid ideas? Oh yeah, because they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and we go, finally, All right, I submit. I'm incurious. I'll be less curious in the future, and I'll just what'd you say? Take this shot and this pill and just be over here. And fat's healthy. Morbid's healthy. The father of the Trump shooter is healthy. He's probably 450 pounds. He didn't gain that weight after the shooting. That'd be impossible. So he's just this massive, he's a monstrously obese man in America. So one of the 68% of men in America. And he had no comment. Sure. I wouldn't comment either. And the son is super rail thin, skinny, ugly son of a bitch. That's about it. That's there it is. There's my whole thought on that whole thing. Gosh darn it. This goes too fast. I have too much fun thinking these things, and it's chaos, isn't it? It's chaotic. This is kind of chaotic, I admit it, but I like doing it and I hope you enjoy it. Gosh, I thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna get into a whole bunch of other stuff next time. I got a marketplace purchase thoughts, and I have a shooty shoot review of a SIG rifle that I bought. Super awesome. And gosh, I have so many other things to talk about. I wrote a whole nother page of stuff. I got pages. This is all I do. I write stuff, I think stuff, and then I say stuff on here, and I contemplate it, and I just hope you enjoy it. But most of all, I thank you for joining me. And this is Lofty Thoughts, Johnny Hansen's Lofty Thoughts, episode 74. And I thank you for joining me this afternoon. I pray that you have a deep and a fulfilling relationship with Jesus, and that he blesses you all the days of your life. Have an awesome afternoon. Thank you so much.